A special thank you to each of our subscribers who make this channel possible. Here's today's story. In a decisive move to address the catastrophic wildfires ravaging California, President Joe Biden announced that the federal government will cover 100% of disaster assistance costs for the next 180 days. This sweeping commitment includes funding for critical services such as debris removal, temporary shelters, and salaries for first responders. Speaking at a White House briefing, Biden emphasized the unprecedented scale of the disaster, stating, "Due to the magnitude of the disaster, I was talking with the governor. He asked if I could increase the federal funding from 75% to 90%. We're increasing it to 100% of all the costs to be covered by the federal government." The president's declaration of a major disaster allows immediate cash assistance to be made available through disasterassistance.gov, with Biden urging local officials to spare no expense in their firefighting efforts. Biden's announcement comes amidst a backdrop of severe climate change impacts, which he directly linked to the current wildfire crisis. Quoting renowned poet William Butler Yeats, he remarked, "All changed utterly/a terrible beauty is born." He stressed the urgent need for adaptation to the changing climate, asserting, "Climate change is real. We've got to adjust to it, and we can. It's within our power to do it. But we've got to acknowledge it." The president's commitment to provide full federal funding was in response to a request from California Governor Gavin Newsom, who had previously sought assistance for the ongoing crisis. Biden's administration is mobilizing resources at an unprecedented scale, deploying 400 additional federal firefighters, over 30 firefighting helicopters and planes, and 8 Defense Department C-130 aircraft to assist in the firefighting efforts. The military is also expected to play a role, with the California National Guard preparing to deploy around 1,000 service members. Vice President Kamala Harris, who has intimate ties to the region, described the situation as apocalyptic while expressing her commitment to the affected communities. "What we are seeing is a situation that is extremely dynamic. It is very much in play, and to some degree unpredictable, because we are literally waiting to see which way the wind blows," she noted. Harris canceled a planned overseas trip to focus on the disaster response, highlighting the urgency of the situation. The wildfires have already claimed 5 lives, with officials warning that the death toll may rise. Over 9,000 structures have been damaged or destroyed, and at least 130,000 residents are under evacuation orders. Experts have cautioned that the fires could become the costliest wildfire disaster in American history, with both Biden and Harris expressing gratitude to firefighters and first responders for their heroic efforts. In the wake of the disaster, Biden urged Californians to reach out for assistance through disasterassistance.gov or by calling 800-621-3362. The president's remarks were underscored by the reality that he has less than 2 weeks left in his term, raising questions about the continuity of federal support under the incoming administration. When asked if California would continue to receive aid, Biden expressed hope, stating, "I'm not in a position to answer that question. I pray to God they will." As the situation develops, Biden's administration is already planning for long-term recovery efforts, which will prioritize the removal of hazardous materials and debris before reconstruction can begin. However, the path to recovery may be complicated by political dynamics, as the newly elected Republican-led Congress may not be as supportive of additional funding for California disaster relief. Former President Donald Trump criticized both Biden and state officials for their handling of the wildfires, labeling the situation a great catastrophe and attributing the disaster to poor leadership. House Speaker Mike Johnson echoed these sentiments, blaming state leaders for inadequate water and forest management practices. Biden's personal connection to the crisis was evident as he revealed that his son Hunter's Malibu home had likely been destroyed by the fires. Reflecting on the emotional toll of such losses, he stated, "This is really difficult for the families to have to deal with. People are going, when do I get back? Will I ever find that picture album? Will I ever find the jewelry that my grandmom gave me?" The president canceled a planned trip to the Vatican to focus on the fire response, underscoring the gravity of the situation at hand. As federal resources pour into California, the Biden administration faces the daunting challenge of not only combating the immediate crisis, but also addressing the long-term implications of climate change that have made such disasters increasingly common. The president's commitment to 100% federal funding represents a significant effort to mitigate the impacts of these devastating wildfires. But the path forward remains fraught with uncertainty as the nation grapples with the realities of a changing climate. That's all for this story. We upload videos every day covering many different subjects, so hit that subscribe button to stay informed. Thanks for watching.